And meanwhile, it looks like Nicker is going to be picking up this big camp here. Possibly going to pick up some mercs. Yeah, picking up a Troll Berserker. Obviously, that's a very nice unit to pick up, just because what it can do is it can do a whole bunch of piercing damage to those Dryades without taking bonus damage from them. Very, very nice unit to pick up here. And I think Moon might well be doing similar things. Would be a pretty sensible choice, although obviously Bears as well would be pretty nice at this point. And Moon actually picking up a 12 agility +2, that's pretty nice for him. And obviously on that Demon Hunter you just need all that extra damage and tanking ability. And let's take a look at the army size. Ooh, actually Pendant of Mana on that Naga is pretty nice, obviously because since there's no Demon Hunter for Nicker. But taking a look at the army size, it's 50 food for Moon, but 69 food for Nicker. Nicker really pushing ahead, being willing to push into upkeep, and what he really has to hope now is that he doesn't just take too much. You can see he's so desperate just to get his army up before he pushes out the fight. He's even built some archers now, which will obviously do extra damage to those Dryads, but at the same time it means that it's sort of money spent on sort of slightly worse units, and for value actually archers are much worse than Dryads, because Dryads are just so cheap. But Moon actually creeping out this cap, and I very much like this move, because obviously only your two heroes really will take any of the magic damage, and of the claps and bolts and all that stuff will basically only be going on these heroes. And actually, unfortunately, Moon has a couple of mercs here, which he might do better just to pull back at this point. But actually, looks like he's going to be unable to finish that creeping because Nicker's moving in with this absolutely massive army, and Moon just can't compare in terms of the army size here. And Moon does have a TP, and I think he probably should use it after he's taken up these first couple units. But Nicker very nicely using hide there, Moon being forced to use a reveal, and Nicker using a healer's troll just to keep those huntresses alive for a bit longer. And Moon realizes he's been in this battle for far too long. He just want to take out those huntresses, and instead he ended up losing a couple Dryads and a Berserker, and I think he only took out sort of 300s or something, which aren't even the best, sort of the most important units in Nicker's army, but it is pretty nice to take them out. And unfortunately, Moon being behind now in terms of having to buy a new TP, and Nick actually being able to finish off the creeping of this cap. And you can just see, normally this would be such a hard camp to creep, but with even though he's just taking out those pieces of the Moon, he can just go and heal it up later. And what item has he picked up now? Ooh, wow, +4 strength, +4 agility. Very, very nice item for that Priestess of the Moon. Obviously, all that extra agility and strength will be well needed if his Priestess of the Moon ever gets out of position or anything like that. And still not seeing any tier 3 tech from Moon, so it looks like he's very, very dedicated to these Dryads. He probably realizes that he can't really do too much, and Moon's actually bought a Shredder. I very much like this. It means you can just put 5 wisps off lumber into your gold mine, rather than have to excuse me, rather than have to build some new wisps, and that Shredder means you always have enough lumber, basically. And looks like Moon actually bought a Zeppelin as well, so making good use of both the Merc Camp and the Goblin Lab. And it looks like actually Nicker might be on to Moon here. Is he going to Moon? No, he's not moving in for another Creepjack. And these two Agents of Lore have been very, very resilient, haven't gone down, even though Nicker's been very far away from them at times. And I think sort of there's just if you lose your Agent of Lore, it's just such a damaging thing to you, especially if you've already pushed into a low upkeep, because it means that you can't continue pushing into low upkeep, and that really can cause trouble for you. And this Demon Hunter now getting very, very close to 5, and this Naga actually pretty close to 5 as well at this point. And I think it's comparable levels, 3-4 is it? Or 4-3? Yeah, 4-3 now for Nicker, and actually getting pretty close to 5 on his Priest of the Moon as well. And obviously that level 3 aura just means you can put out so much damage. And will Moon now go out for creeping this Golem camp? And he actually looks like he got revealed there. Possibly that was Moon's reveal, but I don't think he's suspicious of invisible units. Maybe an invisible Priest of the Moon or something, just to be scouting out. It's the type of thing that Moon would do just by invisibility potion, but it looks like a little bit of a battle coming in here. Taking a quick look, Moon at 68 food, Nicker now at 80 food. So Moon just constantly being out, sort of fooded basically, and Moon does have 1,000 gold left, so he really wants to be spending that gold before he takes this battle, but it looks like he knows that he can't really get away. Maybe he didn't buy it. No, he did buy a TP, so he will be able to do the damage he thinks he can do, and then get out of here. Hitting level 5 with Steam Hunter, though, that's actually very important. And Nicker with not a great position here, having all these individual Dryads being too far out forward, just being absolutely so easy to focus down. But all these Dryads here from Nicker means that he can just avoid all these, avoid the Demon Hunter, and just focus down all the low Dryads. And meanwhile, some excellent micro with the Zeppelin, but the Zeppelin does eventually get taken down by Nicker. But Moon had saved some Dryads for a fair while there, and Nicker's Naga does go down to a Fork Lightning and that Demon Hunter focus, and looks like Moon really low on army now, although he does have the awesome heroes, and they will be what sort of keeps him in this game if he can hold this battle. And it looks like he's gonna lose it. Moon's gonna lose his last Dryad now. Does still have Mauler, which is very nice as well. But oh my god, Moon with just no army at this point, just basically his heroes, and really, obviously, with that Naga doing slowing, it's pretty important. This Naga being forced to use her invulnerability potion finally, and it looks like Moon just gonna pick off some low units as Knicker gets out of here, and as Moon's reinforcements come in, and this is where Moon's extra gold might start to pay off, because Moon can probably buy some mercs now, maybe go for some sort of push, but it looks like Moon just going to be satisfied with the kills he's got, and staffing his Naga home just to heal up. Obviously, she had to use that invulnerability potion, but she was still very low in health. And Moon, meanwhile, going for another expansion up here now. Oh no, so this is Moon going for an expansion up here. So obviously, just as soon as that battle started, Moon knew that that Knicker wouldn't be able to scout here for a while, so he'd be able to just put up that expansion. If he can get that expansion up, then he can probably take the game basically from there, and no one's really going for this expansion at the moment, but it looks like Moon actually caught this Priest of the Moon buying an item, and the Dryad here is really going to help Knicker get away, because obviously slowing on that Demon Hunter can be quite annoying. And 2-1 upgrades now for Knicker, and I imagine fairly similar upgrades, to be honest, for Moon. Yeah, 2-1 upgrades for Moon, wow, identical upgrades there, and I think that second armor upgrade probably more expensive than it's worth. Actually, having said that though, Moon is getting it, and actually Moon going for tier 3 finally, very late tier 3. That's quite surprising. I thought he was just going to stick at tier 2 to be honest at this point, and Knicker not going for that second armor upgrade, and looks like Moon is going to creep out this golem camp finally, and this is such a nice camp to creep out. I especially love doing it if you're playing like 2 versus 2s on Knoll Wood or something like that. Ooh, actually an expansion going up here for Moon, another expansion, so Moon taking 4 of the 6 expansions on the map, or mines on the map. But sorry, as I was saying, obviously there's an equivalent camp to this one on Knoll Wood, and if you just are going mass Dryads and your opponent's like Orc or something like that, in which case mass Dryads is a pretty legitimate strategy, you can literally just creep that with like 50 foot of Dryads, and you'll take so little damage, because all the damage from that camp comes from the clap and from the bolts and stuff like that, and it looks like the Demon Hunter very close to level 6, but more importantly, that endurance aura on that Naga is actually such a nice item, just because all the damage from this army is basically coming from attacks rather than from spells. Obviously there's that Fork Lightning, but that's not a significant, or like it's good for the occasional just focusing down hero or something. Meanwhile, it looks like an Ancient Protector going down here for Knicker, who's spotted Moon's expansion, and it looks like he's actually going to come in to cancel it. I don't think Moon's going to be there, going to be able to move up in time, and he might TP, but I think he's going to wait for his bear upgrade, and actually, he does finally have some bears. Actually, he does have his master bears, but I don't think he has quite enough bears at this point. And then Knicker actually going for an Ancient Protector here, and as I thought, I think Moon's just going to stick with that one expansion, be very happy to have it, and let Knicker take this one out, probably detonate these wisps as well. But you can see Moon actually trying to waste a bit of Knicker's time just by trying to repair this Tree of Life. Obviously, he's not going to get any more gold from it or anything from this mine, and so he knows he's just going to waste a bit of Knicker's time, allow this expansion to get up. It's just started entangling the mine now, so we're about a minute away from it mining, and Moon just needs to build some wisps now. Unfortunately, he's actually used all his lumber wisps, I think. Actually, no, he has one here which he can bring along, but certainly he doesn't need it too badly, and I imagine he has so much lumber. Yeah, 700 lumber, 700 gold actually as well, so Moon could do with doing some damage. But actually you can see finally these lures in a bit of trouble, and Moon actually revealing his hand a bit, showing that he does have these bears. I'm not sure if Knicker had actually scouted that out before now, but it looks like Knicker is going to lose both of the Ancients of Lore, and I thought it was pretty risky to put them down here, and it looks like Knicker is going to have to go for some sort of fight now. Probably is going to want to pick up as many mercs as possible and just take the fight now, because it's going to take him so long to put up those Ancients of Lore again, and I'm really not sure that it's sort of the best investment for him to make at this point. And it looks like Moon just about getting this mine up. He has 3 wisps here, and 2 more being made, 1 almost done, so he will be able to be getting so much more gold that Knicker really needs to push right now. And I think if he can't do a significant blow here, then he's in trouble. Priestess of the Moon with some very nice instruments. I like bringing in the invisibility potion into the battle, because it means that if he does get in trouble, which is certainly a possibility, then he can just use that invisibility potion, move to a better position, even if he doesn't need to do it when he's at low health. Moon getting blocked here by the Stride. Oh my god, this is so bad for Moon. Moon needs to keep his Demon Hunter alive so badly. He does have that invuln pop, but he doesn't want to waste it now. Should be rejuvenating his Demon Hunter. No, instead, oh my god, he stabs him that bear and then stabs him the Demon Hunter, and it looks like Moon will be losing this expansion as well, and this is not going the way Moon wanted it to go at all. Moon really needs to keep that expansion up, because otherwise his army, I think, is just too small at this point. Moon at 80 food, actually Knicker at 76, so it looks like actually I guess just all that actually Moon TPing in here, but I think it's what just happened is just Moon had so much economy or food dedicated to economy, that he actually seems to be a bit ahead, even though I think those bears really aren't playing too much a role. And these Priests of the Moon finally getting off Starfall, but Moon finally getting getting Metamorphosis on his Demon Hunter, and that's just so much more powerful than the Priest of the Moon getting level 6, because obviously you can just focus down that Priest of the Moon quite quickly, and that's exactly what happened. Moon with a lot of low drives, and Moon just, you can see, he just didn't have the army to support this to support his heroes, and so his heroes again are left. But that level 6 Demon Hunter is enough to chase away any sort of army basically, and Tornado being used, you almost never see that, and oh wow, it's unfortunately it's not being used to great effect, because it's just to get this one Dryad kill. You don't often see a Dryad being a Cyclone, that's for sure, and it looks like this Dryad actually was just going to get away, so not great use of Tornado there, but I guess Moon knew that that battle was won, and he had the mana to use Tornado, and it would do more damage than if he just got another level of cold arrows, and it looks like he's staffing back